Hi there, it's Laura here from iHeartPlanners, and I'm going to share with you the 5 things you really need to know before you'll ever be able to clear your paper clutter. And I know that paper clutter is a huge problem for so many of us, so I'm excited to share this with you. Now, before we dive in, make sure you take a second, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. The first thing you need to know before trying to tackle your paper clutter is that you're not alone. Among the top questions that I get from my blog readers and video viewers is, how do I tackle my paper clutter? Please help. And we just get paper from so many places. And so there's no shame or guilt if your paper has gotten out of control. And even myself, I've gotten in situations where it's out of control and I have bins or it just takes over the counter. So know that you're not alone. The second thing you really need to know is that the paper is not actually the problem. The process is the problem. So what I mean is that you're never probably going to be able to actually stop having to deal with paper because it comes from everywhere. And while it's tempting to say the problem is, oh, there's just too much paper, that's actually not the case. The case is that you haven't found the proper process and system for dealing with it. So there is hope when you get the right process down. The third thing that's really important is that you don't try to go back and deal with your huge backlog of paper and put it into a new system. Create a system and start from this point forward. If you try to go back to weeks, months, years of paperwork, you're going to get bogged down before you even have a chance to get started. So create a system, start going forward, and then if you need to tackle back paperwork, do that gradually over time. The fourth thing you need to know is that consistency is key. The exact process or exactly how you choose to categorize or label your files is not nearly as important as tackling it consistently. So what that means is that you have a daily and a weekly routine for paper. Most of the time, those daily routines are very simple. I'm not saying you have to sit down at your computer and desk every single day and process papers. What I am saying is that you need to have a plan in place for what you do on a daily basis with the papers that come in. So that means don't just sit them on the counter or the catch-all space. Have an inbox, a spot where you put them, have a place where you put the mail, and have a system for anything that might need to be dealt with urgently so that you don't overlook it. And the last thing you really need to know before you tackle your paper clutter is that going paperless is easier than you think. So there's so many benefits to going paperless. First of all, you can access your information from anywhere, even from your phone when you're at the doctor's office or in the car or at the grocery store. Secondly, you're going to save so much space because instead of needing filing drawers and cabinets, you can get all that information on the cloud, on your computer, and you can shred all of those papers. And I know the process can seem overwhelming, but I have done it and it's so much easier than I thought it was going to be. And if you want some extra help, I have a resource in the links down below that can help you learn how to go paperless for yourself. Now, I hope you're feeling ready to go tackle your paper clutter, and be sure to share this with a friend if they also need help with their paper clutter.